My name is Honourable Olumide Abiodun Ojerinde, representing the good people of Irepo, Olorunsogo, Oorelope Federal Constituency. We are from Oyo State. 2017, thereabouts, was when the inspiration, I would say the inspiration started. And it was basically a challenge to that was the cause of, what's the purpose of you being alive and you can't change narratives while you're in existence, And that was basically what prompted me to it, that we can change the narrative of things, how things are being done, and to also let those who don't know certain things to know what things should be like. Basically, it was just, my journey is basically to change narration and orientate people of their rights and their privileges, the difference between government and people. That's it. Before I got into politics, I was doing business. It was more of a conglomerate, doing a lot, involved in school management, agriculture, hospitality, entertainment, and IT, basically. That's what I've been doing before I got into this. And it's still business as usual, My present position today has definitely hindered me from doing my day-to-day activities, which I used to do, because this is a bigger responsibility than the things I was doing. But I still do my business and manage my legislative duties at the same time, and manage politics too at the same time. I believe the best investment in life is making impacts in people's lives. It's cancerous in the sense that it's like you giving knowledge. Humanitarianism is not peculiar to one thing, but for me, whatever you do to people, if it's good, it's a cancerous thing. It continues to grow. So I don't think there's anybody that exists that has been treated good, that treated others bad. So it's always a good for good thing for me. So the humanitarian part for me was like I said, was the essence of you being in existence or you being human, and you can't make impacts in the lives of people around you. Even the wild animals that we see in the jungle, you see they try to fend for each other. So likewise, we that are supposed to be the most sensible human, being on the planet, we should be able to do better for ourselves than even the animals can. We see dogs that fend for themselves. So why can't you as human beings to fend for people around you? So that's, I think for me, it's the animals that even challenge me as a human being more, that if these animals can be fending for themselves, so why can't likewise you human being? One, the legislative powers or the parliamentary powers they're limited, they're not limited, and they're so infinite as well. So the major issue with my constituency that I represent are two things that I myself realized. Is one, human capability. That's they are there. The people are there, but a lot lack certain skills, which is something that is infinite too. If you teach somebody how to paint one wall, that doesn't stop him from knowing how to paint a whole building. So there was a human capacity building, which I knew was a gap with the present Millennium Development Goals. Then infrastructure too was one. So in the last 2 years, I can confidently say that we've been able to train over 3,000 constituents in different skills, And in terms of infrastructure, I think we've been able to achieve to an extent too. The first thing we focused on is water, which is a major challenge in Africa, like we know. Then the second phase of infrastructure is the health sector, which it's actually even a personal project as an individual, a personal project trying to build a pediatric and maternity center in each local government I represent. In terms of education, we've been able to lobby to get some schools renovated, and I know even as we are talking presently, they are probably constructing some classrooms in some schools right now as we are talking. So it's in terms of achievements, in terms of lobbying for my constituency, that's what I've done. Then in terms of the real legislative business, I've been able to sponsor 3 bills so far. The first bill was on a creation of a tertiary institution, a university. The second one was for the College of Education, and the third one was the creation of a federal medical center. But as the global situation is today, in terms of priority, I can't be pushing. I can push the 3. I'm capable of pushing the 3 at the same time. But the health sector today, we know globally we have all failed as human beings. Russia, America today, they have the best weapons, ballistic weapons, but they couldn't fight COVID. So what's the essence of you building those weapons, right? Globally, in terms of the health sector, we human beings failed. And I think that's why that bill is more important today. The livelihood, the health of the people is priority than every other thing. If they are alive, we'll be able to do a lot. That's it. Okay. I don't think this is actually, it is not a problem per se. The first dividend of democracy is what? The freedom of speech. So we are free to agitate. Anybody is free to agitate. But before the agitation or the agitations that are going on right now, we all need to sit down well and go back to the drawing board. Okay, what is causing the agitation? Those are the questions we should ask. Why is X asking for it? Why is Z asking for this? That's the first thing. Let's come to the table. And for me, I'm for Nigeria. And that means if I'm for Nigeria, I'm not an advocate of the agitation. Unity is good everywhere. The countries that broke, we should look at it. Where are they today? A lot didn't survive it. So it's not something, it's easier said than done. We cannot afford to break up. What happened to USSR? You can check it out. They were greater when they were together, but when they broke, there are some countries, I'm sure a lot of people don't even know they were part of the USSR today. So I'm not saying if this goes, it will favor this or it will favor this. I mean, it's not going to favor anybody. It is not going to, you might win your agitation, but there are days to come ahead to regret it. In this room right now, we have everybody from, I'm sure, the 6 geopolitical zones sitting down here right now. We don't have issues. So why should some people just try to disorientate our unity in this room right now? When you walked into this room, there was no question of where are you from, even before we started this. We are not bothered about it. So I see it as an instrument of destability and destruction, right? We have, we are youths. We have a future that we still want. we still want the best out of it. So what's the agitation about, right? Those of us in this room, do we actually understand the agitation? Let's be sincere to ourselves. So a whole lot of people don't understand. So even those who have been misinterpreted, the agitation has been misinterpreted too. Like I said earlier on, know your rights, your privileges, and just do the right thing. There's no way the right thing has ever been wrong. The easiest solution to this thing, the solution is very easy. And these things have worked in some ways in Nigeria positively. There are two occurrences that I'm going to go back to that has happened in this country. And I, as a person, from my own observation, I knew there was strength in this thing. And what is this thing called? Unity. Occupy Nigeria was the first thing. I was part of Occupy Nigeria. I was on the streets with people in Lagos. We're all protesting against the fuel subsidy. And what I realized about the Occupy Nigeria is it shook this country. It was a very peaceful protest. I don't know if you were part of it or you were around when that happened. It was a peaceful protest. There are positive and negative views to it. But that was the only time the young, the old, the lady, the woman, the man, the boy, the rich, the poor, all classes of Nigerians came out. It wasn't about whether you were from the north, south, west, Christian, Muslim, traditionalist. Everybody came out. And what happened? We stood our ground. The second one that happened, unfortunately, it ended with bad remarks, bad memory, was the NSAS. NSAS wasn't about a certain class of people. It was about you, me, yourself, I, and you. The poor were out, the rich were out, the middle class was out. The good, the bad, and the ugly, everybody was out. In what? In one box. Now we're talking about insecurity. Because your state is peaceful, are you bothered about the guy in the northeast? Not really. So who is the problem? Is it Buhari that is the problem? I think we need to change that mindset of blaming those who are on the seats right now. We need to. It is me and you. Are you bothered about the guy in the northeast? As that guy in the southwest stood up and said, "Come, enough is enough." The people in the northeast, this trouble is getting too much. Let us all stand. But everybody is going about their business. It is when the trouble will come to your own doorstep that you two start shouting. So is the problem Buhari? Well, now, there's a way the government works. Is the president? Is he the GOC commanding? Is he the DPO? It's not everywhere. Responsibility has been given to people. So we should start blaming those responsible for their duty. We should start blaming them. We're talking about insecurity. Are you bothered? Okay, today maybe in the South region, we'll say in the South. If we're going to say South, the Anambra, the issues happening in the Southeast. The neighboring states that have happened, what have they done about it? It is when everybody will stand up, be able to fish out this bad. So we've used it in some very good directions, which, as an observer, I would say those were one of the best moments I've ever seen in my life. That okay, so we can actually do this. We shut down everywhere. Everywhere was shut down. I'll say we. It's Nigerians. I won't say they shut down. I won't say we. I won't say they. I mean, it's we. It's a we situation. So you don't need. Yes, you will take the blame over the insecurity. But the issue there now is it why that is in the Middle East killing people? It is nothing. It didn't instruct anybody to kill anybody. How many of those communities have risen up that come? Enough is enough. Some did it in the Middle Belt, I think Benue, Plateau, they rose up. Some communities rose up to stand by it. It is everywhere. I represent the constituency of one of the major agitators, Sunday ago. We're from the same hometown. We're from the same hometown. When people talk about Fulani, we call them Igbo Fulani. We have indigenous that are Fulanis, that they are 4 generations, 5 generations. They speak Yoruba. I have some words in my constituency that Fulanis are part of the ESCO members of the party. We're living amicably. So, when they are talking about this breaking up Nigeria as well, Igbo is probably one of the safest places to be. It's probably one of the safest places to be in Nigeria. We have Fulani men, people, generations. Even some of them, I mean, how comfortable and how amicable we are in the community. Some try to contest for councillorship, which we don't have anything against.
If you're intermarried.
Yeah, you know. There's intermarried, there's a lot. I have people from Benue that have been in my hometown for 20 years. I know a particular person, Mr. Jacob. Jacob has been in my hometown for 25 years. 25 years. His kids school there, he built a house there. So our unity can actually get us to places. And the moment me and you are more patriotic, that we see it that what is happening on the other side, provided it is under this place called Nigeria, it is my business. You have to, that's the truth. You meet friends in your university that are not from your state, but if somebody is trying to chance them, you stand for them. So why can't you stand for a state when there are issues on the other side? It is when we start seeing ourselves as Nigeria, I think we'll go before that. So, I mean, nepotism is something we need to eradicate in our society. Religious fanaticism too has to be eradicated. I respect every religion, but when it comes to doing the right thing, let's not put the sentiment into it. If you walk into the hospital today, the emergency room, you're not bothered if it's from the south or west. You're bothered about what? You survive. Right? You're not bothered about it. You walk into the hospital now. I mean, even if your religion says a man should not touch you at that point in time, what will you do? The survival instinct. So the insecurity issue can easily be addressed. You all just have to be united and face the same cause. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Finally, how do you feel being honored